मेरे भारत में आए हैं भगवान, मेरे भारत में आए हैं भगवान। होता है आँखों में खुदा से मिलन, मेरे भारत में आए हैं भगवान। होता है आँखों में खुदा से मिलन, मेरे भारत में आए हैं भगवान। सुन के आवाज अपने बच्चों की, पूरी करते हैं आस बातों की। सुन के आवाज अपने बच्चों की, पूरी करते हैं आस बातों की, पूरी करते हैं आस बातों की। अब तो जागो वक्त भी है कम, होता है आँखों में खुदा से मिलन, मेरे भारत में आए हैं भगवान। धर्मग्लानि के समय आते हैं, गीता में दिए वचन निभाते हैं। धर्मग्लानि के समय आते हैं, गीता में दिए वचन निभाते हैं, गीता में दिए वचन निभाते हैं। ज्ञान चक्षु दे खोलते हैं नयन, होता है आँखों में खुदा से मिलन, मेरे भारत में आए हैं भगवान। कितना सुंदर वो अंजुमन होगा, हर एक दिल में सुख चमन होगा। कितना सुंदर वो अंजुमन होगा, हर एक दिल में सुख चमन होगा, हर एक दिल में सुख चमन होगा। धुन मुरली से गूंज उठे मधुबन, होता है आँखों में खुदा से मिलन, मेरे भारत में आए हैं भगवान। होता है आँखों में खुदा से मिलन, मेरे भारत में आए हैं।
Om Shanti. Let's begin with Baba's remembrance. I am a soul. Gently unplug your man and buddhi from wherever it is stuck. Turn it within. See yourself. I am a star of light. This is who I am. A tiny, subtle, radiant star of light. A conscious being of light. I am the one experiencing the world through the sense organs. I, the soul, interpret what the eyes see. I, the soul, changes seen into an experience. I am this marvelous, fantastic, magical being of light. I think, I experience. My whole experience of the outer world is internal. I'm not limited by the external. The only limitation is the limitation of self-awareness. My state of being, my state of experience is completely my creation. Now sit in the awareness. I'm a happy soul. Feel the soul sparkling with the radiance of happiness. I'm happy. Happiness is my innate quality. Happiness is the inherent light of my being. Sit in this happy state for some time. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. In the Murli today, Baba says, sweet children, to make all unhappy souls happy is the duty of the one Father alone. He alone is the bestower of salvation for all. So Baba says, nobody other than me can make all unhappy souls happy. Now, we might have a question about why is it so? And Baba gives a very interesting and simple answer. Baba says, Baba says, how can someone who is himself unhappy make you happy? Yes, so the simple thing is, see, Baba says, it is the Father's duty every cycle to make all those who are unhappy happy. How would those who are unhappy and impure themselves make others pure and happy? And that too is a question of the whole world. And they also sing that the bestower of salvation for all is only one. O Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, come and purify us impure ones. So Baba says, In this Murli, Baba talks about two things. One, happiness, anybody can give what they have. And you ask any soul in the world, are you ever happy? So they are not, nobody is ever happy. And Baba says, one who is not ever happy cannot give happiness to another. And Baba also talks about the connection between purity and happiness. So Baba says, nobody pure and happy. So Baba uses this in a combination. So pure and happy. And Baba has told us that purity is the mother of peace and happiness. Pavitrata Sukh Shanti ki janani hai. So Baba has already, in those who read the Murli, they know that this is a law that you cannot be impure and happy. So it is purity first and then peace and happiness. Now, what is purity? Now, I want to, before I talk about purity, Baba today says something which we must listen to. Baba says the main vice is impure arrogance, body consciousness. So what is impure arrogance, body consciousness? So impurity, impure arrogance, body consciousness, they can be used interchangeably. Now, when we talk about purity, so purity, the symbol of purity is the lotus flower. And we say that the lotus flower is always residing in muddy water, but then the muddy water doesn't stick to it. So all the dirt around it doesn't stick to it. Now, purity is a state where the external surroundings don't affect you. That's why purity and the lotus flower are connected always. And how do we reach that stage where the external surroundings don't affect us? So you see that everything happens in the mind. So all this getting affected by the external surroundings, feeling how we feel, thinking how we think, all this happens in the mind. Now, the way the mind functions is connected with the consciousness with which we are operating. If you see, there are two words, body consciousness and soul consciousness. So soul consciousness means that I am fully aware, not knowledge. It's not just that I listen to it, but I have imbibed it, that I am a soul separate from the body, sitting in this body. Okay, so I'm a soul, I'm sitting in this body, but I'm completely separate from the body. So in soul consciousness, I know that I'm a tiny being of light and I'm made of 7 qualities. My Father is the ocean of knowledge, purity, peace, love, happiness, bliss, and power. And in my intrinsic state, I'm a full soul. And my mind, my buddhi, and my sanskar are under my control. So I can experience and create thoughts according to how I want to be. If I want to be happy, I can create happy thoughts, come what may. I can feel happiness despite my surroundings. So this is soul consciousness. So when the soul is fully aware of its qualities, its powers, and the soul is fully aware that by virtue of being Baba's child, happiness and peace and knowledge are the birthright of the soul. And when we are not in that awareness, when there is impure, what do you say, Baba says, where there is impure consciousness or there is impure arrogance. So, what is impure arrogance? Impure arrogance means I think that I and the body are together. And then with this belief system, I have limited myself that whatever information comes through the body or whatever is the experience coming through the body is going to and is bound to have an effect on me. So there is body consciousness, there is role consciousness, there is relationship consciousness. And in your inner world, you have programmed that when something happens to somebody I am related to, then I cannot be happy. Or when something I see is not lovely or beautiful, I cannot be happy. So I have given away my power to my senses or my relationships or the state of affairs around me. I've programmed myself like that, that these situations and behaviors and others are given the power, I've given the remote control that they can take away my happiness. So that is impure arrogance, or that is body consciousness. And when we say purity, so purity means a state where the soul knows that the inner world is separate from the outer world, and how I feel inside, how I feel on the inside, whether I feel peaceful or loveful or happy, has got nothing to do with the outer world. Just like the lotus, I'm very, very clear. Now, the understanding purity and going back to purity are two different things. So, one thing is understanding purity, that purity is this state where you know that you are separate from the body and the world around you. But now that we have lived in impure arrogance and body consciousness and impurity for 63 births, going back to purity is not just understanding purity. So you see, if you take the example of a cloth that was white and clean and sparkling white, and then now it's all soiled and it's dark and muddy. Now, understanding that this was white and how it looked when it was white is a separate thing. Having faith that it was white makes you make the effort that it can be changed to white again. But then making that effort is a totally different thing. So this is why Baba says the state of purity is a very powerful state where you realize you are in complete awareness, you are in complete experience that I'm separate from the body and the organs and the relationships around me and the world around me. That's purity. Understanding it is one thing. And then going back to it. Now, going back to it requires a lot of things, because right now, our mind is very, very connected to the external world. And it is so connected that you see something, you are not even aware that you are thinking about it. You see something and then it sticks to your mind and it creates a feeling instantly. You hear a word, you are angry in a split second. So the mind is fused into the external world. Now, this is why going back to purity requires conscious effort of unplugging the mind from the external world and taking it to Baba. This is why Baba always says, remember me. So, this remembering Baba is a conscious activity, conscious exercise that every soul has to do in order to disintegrate the mind from the physical world. So I have to take my mind off the falsehood of the world and take it to true Baba. And Baba is always the ever flowing ocean of love and peace and purity. So let me take my mind off the world and take it to Baba. And this is very important for purity. So there is a slogan in Gyan, which is Yogi Bano Pavitra Bano. So being a yogi makes us pure. So this is one thing. And then the second slogan is Pavitra Bano Yogi Bano. So then physical purity. So in order to become pure in the spiritual stage, we have to practice physical purity. That is, we have to stop engaging in physical pleasures of the body. So we have to stop engaging in high intensity physical pleasures that make the mind very connected to the body. So lust is a no-no. So celibacy, then engagement in anything, anything that you see or hear or taste that tingles your senses a lot. Because when you do that, then your mind gets attached to sensual pleasures. And then the source of sensual pleasures is the body. So you cannot disconnect the mind from the body if you keep engaging in sensual pleasures. And if you cannot disconnect the mind from the body, then you cannot be the master of the mind and create thoughts and feelings in the mind which are distinct from the information coming from the body. So in order to detach the mind from the body, it's very important to practice Baba's remembrance. And it is also very, very important to practice celibacy and practice disengagement from sensual pleasures. Now, all this has a purpose. And the purpose is to be pure. And only when we are pure, we can be happy and peaceful. So, there is... So there are two words, lakshya and lakshan. So if you have an aim about something, which is the lakshya, then you need to do something to reach that aim. So we are all sitting here in this class, and everybody has the aim to be peaceful and happy. Yes, we are all sitting here for peace and happiness. But up until now, until we come to Baba, we don't know the relationship between purity and peace and happiness. We didn't know that purity is imperative for peace and happiness. And that is why this quest for peace and happiness has taken very, very long. So it's been ages and, so many years, so many births. People have tried to find peace and happiness, but they have never been successful. And today also, Baba talks about the efforts that people make in the world for peace. So, we have a whole organization for peace, and we conduct so many conferences for peace, and people are really interested in peace. But nobody is interested in purity because they don't know the connection between purity and peace and happiness. And if we don't resort to the right method, we may continue forever, but peace and happiness will never become a reality of the world until we children embrace purity. So Baba says purity in the sense that first thing first, remembrance of Baba. And then second thing, celibacy and disengagement from sensual pleasures. And then how do we, so, when you leave something, you want something in its place. So if I say you don't use the crutch, then I need to give you a leg, yes, so that you can walk without the crutch. So Baba says, when you disengage from sensual pleasures, then you need to draw in the light and love and happiness and peace from Baba in his remembrance, so that you are able to fill your heart in this communion with Baba. And in this super sensuous joy, you will be able to, lift your, you will be able to compensate for the lack of sensual pleasure coming from the senses. And so many souls have done it previously. So it's not impossible, but yes, it is an effort that we have to make. And it's not a small thing to move from unhappiness to happiness, and that too of a permanent kind. So this is the price we will have to pay for it. And then when we are back to our purity, then peace and happiness will become the order of the day, order of the world. So this is something that Baba says, that only I can give you happiness, because only I'm the one who is soul conscious. I'm the one who is not body conscious. I'm the one who has not lost the happiness. So I can take you back to the secret of happiness. And then Baba today talks about predestined and fixed part. So, Baba uses these words that I come and sit in the body of Brahma Baba and give you this knowledge. And Baba says, this is my prefixed instrument. So I don't choose. So Baba says, I don't choose. This is pre-selected. So Baba comes and enters the body of Brahma Baba. But Baba says, I don't select this instrument. This instrument is pre-selected. And this is predestined. And this is fixed in the drama. Now, we need to understand what we mean by fixed in the drama. So what do we mean by fixed in the drama? So Baba today says that every soul looks the same. So every soul looks the same. Even Baba is a soul, so Baba also looks the same. So every soul is a point of light. Baba is also a point of light. It's not like Baba is bigger in size and other souls are tiny in size. So no difference in the way we look. But then every soul is not the same. So I always give the example of the CDs you see in a CD shop. And then all the CDs all the compact discs are identically looking. But the recording inside of them is different. So every CD is recorded differently. So Baba says, every soul has a recording inside them. Yes, and you are you. You can only be you. You cannot be someone else. And every soul is different. The pre-recorded part in every soul is different. Now you see that in order for a CD to bring out sound, in order for a CD to play itself, you need a recorder, you need a player, yes? So every CD goes into the player, and the player works the same way, But then when the player is working, the sound produced by every CD is different. Yes. Why? Because the recording inside is different. Similarly, every soul look-wise is the same, but the recording is different inside of it. And the player is this Karam Kshetra, this world, this drama, this Karam Kshetra, where you come, take a body, is the player, where you come and enter. And then what you do, yes, the player works equally for everybody. You see, the world situation is the same. The 5 elements are behaving the same way. But how you respond to it is according to your part. It's according to how you are recorded inside. And you see that in the external world, there is time. So in Satyug and Treta Yuga, it was the golden age, and there was order outside. There was no chaos outside. So the 5 elements of nature were well behaved. Everything on the external was sorted. And then the internal, so the Raja behaved like the Raja, the Praja behaved like the Praja. So whatever was inside the soul came out that way. Now, when Dwapar Yuga started and then things got anarchus and there was chaos outside, until now, every soul is responding to it the way it is pre-recorded. And then, so, not everybody is getting equally annoyed, not everybody is getting equally perturbed, not everybody is staying equally calm. So it's according to the patterns. Even when Baba comes, so when Baba comes and Baba starts talking, so we listen to the same Gyan, we listen to the same Murli, but we respond to it according to our pre-recorded state. So it's already there within us. So Baba says, you were a deity. So I will be reminded that I was a deity only in proportion to how much of a deity I was. So if I was a great deity, then it will bring out memories that I was a really great deity. And then I will start making the effort to be a deity again. So there is a time for everything to be okay. There is a time when everything becomes chaotic. There is a time for God to come. And in all these events are like the player in which the CD is put. But what emerges from the CD is contained in the CD. And sometimes, it makes us wonder. So I have seen children who share this experience that, Didi, I took this person for a session, a BK session, and it was such a great session. So I just had goosebumps in the session and it made me realize so much. And this person was sitting and yawning. So I don't get it. How can they yawn in that session? And they didn't find it interesting. They couldn't even understand one single thing in the whole session. So you must understand that you can put the CD in the player, but it will create the sound that it's supposed to create according to the recording that's inside it. So these different situations that we encounter are there, but then what comes out in that situation is pre-recorded. Now, Baba says, you are not becoming something. You are only realizing who you are. So when Baba comes, Baba is like the mirror that shows the original face. So have you seen a mirror show where there are many mirrors in front of whom you sit and they show you your distorted image? And then there is one mirror which shows you the original image. But then that doesn't mean that you will get beautified if you sit in front of that mirror which shows your original image. So you see that when we are operating in the body conscious world, it is like sitting in front of mirrors that show us our distorted image. And then we keep doing that. And then here we come in front of Baba, and Baba shows us our original image. So the way we were in the beginning, or the way we are designed to be. But then our original image is also different. So not everybody was a deity original. So you know that the population in the beginning of Satyug is approximately 9 lakhs. And then at the end of Treta Yuga, it is approximately 33 crores. So there are only 33 crores souls who have been deities. So when you come to Baba, you can only be reminded of who you are. You cannot be reminded of who you are not. So this is why, everybody feels great when they listen to the fact that they are a soul, but not many people agree that they are a deity. So this is why everybody's part is predestined. And then you see that thoughts become things. So when Baba comes and Baba shows us the mirror, and when we see our face in the mirror and we are reminded of who we are, then we become that. So this is why there is identical repetition, because you can only see who you were and you can only become who you were. You cannot become something new because you cannot see something new. You can only see. Baba can hold the mirror. This Gyan is like the mirror that Baba is holding every day in front of us. And we see our face. We see our original face. But we can only see who we were. So we cannot see something new, something extra. So the mirror can only show the true face, and then we can become that again. I cannot understand and see greater than myself. So, but then in this Sangam Yuga, you are able to see your true face, which is very different from the distorted images that we have been seeing in body conscious world. Somebody told you are a male, somebody told you are a female, somebody told you are a child, somebody told you are a youth. That's all a lie. So you are a soul, and you are a soul, and you are somebody. So you are some soul. You are one person. And when Baba's Gyan enters our ears, then that memory of who we really are gets activated. So Baba says, I cannot choose a new instrument. So Baba says, Brahma Baba is the instrument who has this pre-recorded part that every time he's the one who collaborates with me 100%, because he's the first soul. So he's the Krishna soul, he's the Vishnu soul. So he's the first one. So only when I enter his body and speak the knowledge to him, he will agree with me 100%, because he was the first one. So he became whatever I taught him. So he will be reminded of the whole truth. And Baba says, this is a cycle, and everybody, and it's repeating identically. So everybody will come back to being who they really were. And you cannot change that. So everybody will become who they were. And it's not just that it's imposed on them that they will become who they were. They will choose to become who they were. They will choose to become who they were, because that's the only thing that resonates with them. The other thing will not resonate with them because it's not part of their memory track. So sometimes, children ask this question, so can somebody not become someone else? They cannot become someone else because they will not choose to become someone else. They will only choose as much as is there in their predestined part. And you see that um, we are all, our likes, dislikes, our preferences, our inspirations are all coming automatically. So, when somebody listens to the Murli, they feel like surrendering their life to Baba. Yes. So they don't create that urge comes to them. And somebody listens to the Murli, they feel like imbibing it, but they don't feel like surrendering. Yes, some people get inspired to imbibe 50%, some get inspired to imbibe 100%. So Baba says, you will only be inspired to do as much as is in your part. And the most important thing is, you do as much as gives you satisfaction. So when you listen to the Murli, so what is the test of who am I? The test of who am I is, who do I want to be? Who am I inspired to be? So when you listen to the Murli, and if you feel like doing something and you're not doing it right now, then you make the effort to do it. But I tell you, 90% of the things in the Murli you don't even understand. And that's drama. So that's drama. But then where is the question of effort or Purusharth? Purusharth is when Baba holds the mirror in front of you and you see that this needs to be done. This is what I want to do. This is what makes sense to me. And then it gnaws in your heart that you should be doing it, but you're not doing it. That is where you make the effort to do it. And the Murli is a vast subject. So there are many things which don't make sense to us, and that's okay. But whatever makes sense to us, we have to do it, because this is the only time when Baba is holding the mirror and we can see our face in that mirror. And we can touch up and make up and correct it. And other times we cannot see our true face. We have only been living with the distorted image, and we had started believing we are that. But now is the time to realize who we really are. And when I realize it, I make the effort to become that again. That's where the question of effort arises. So this is something. And then today Baba says that you have always believed that I'm God and you are the Bhagat. But when Baba comes, Baba clarifies that you are not the Bhagat, you are my children. And in every single Murli, Baba says, you are my children. And sweet children is the beginning of the Murli. And Baba says, now you have to start thinking like my child. So, you should know that you're my child. And there is a vast difference between thinking about yourself as a Bhagat to God and thinking about yourself as a child of God. So there is a lot of difference between the two things. And Baba says, when you think about yourself as my child, then you're filled with the intoxication of inheritance. Now, what does the intoxication of inheritance means? The child feels he has a right. So, if there is a servant in the house, he doesn't feel he's entitled. But the child feels entitled. And Baba says, you must understand that you are the entitled ones. So peace, happiness, knowledge, love is your entitlement. So Baba is giving it to you. You are not begging it. And Baba loves you anyway. Baba is showering peace and happiness on you anyway. So you don't have to beg for it. And then Baba says, you must also know that Baba is the creator of heaven and I am Baba's child, so I have a right to heaven. And that right also you must understand. And in that intoxication, so only when you are in higher consciousness, you will do great actions. If your consciousness is low, your actions will also be low. So Baba says, first, when you are my child, you be in higher consciousness, then you do that which suits you, and then you become that. But first, to be, you have to know that you are not a bhagat, you are not a beggar, you are a child of God. So this thing Baba clarifies today. And then Baba today says, it is said religion is might. Religion is might. And here I would like to introduce you to two words, dharam and dharana. So what is dharam? Dharam is dharana. So whatever you uphold inside of yourself, that's your dharam. And that's what makes you powerful. So have you heard these expressions like, this is a very powerful soul, or this is a very, yes. So what is that which makes you powerful? That which you hold inside. That is why religion is might. Because your dharana, what you hold inside of in the soul, makes you very mighty. And you know that the soul is made up of 7 things: knowledge, purity, peace, love, happiness, bliss, and power. So when the knowledge that I have inside is pure, there is purity, there is true love, there is pure peace, there is super sensuous happiness. That's what makes me very, very powerful. That's why religion is might. And Baba says that in the deity religion, the most powerful religion, when you were a deity, you had the truth inside of you, you had pure peace, pure love, pure happiness inside you. And that's why that religion was called very powerful, because the souls had very powerful inculcation inside them. And Baba says, I am known as, and I'm famous to be the establisher of the deity religion. So I'm giving you the dharana, I'm giving you the knowledge, the pure peace, the pure love. So we knew the word love, but what it meant to us was lust and attachment. Now Baba introduces us to what is love. We used the word happiness, but we thought it was pleasure. So now Baba introduces us to spiritual happiness. And Baba says, when you understand these things from me, you understand truth, you understand purity, you understand happiness, peace, and love. And I give you the power because I am the embodiment of these virtues. So when you connect to me, you get the power. So the understanding plus the power sits in the soul like a dharana. And that's what makes you shift to the deity dharam. So Baba says, this is why I'm called the one who establishes the deity religion. And the deity religion is very mighty. And I'm giving you the light and might for that religion. Okay? Please go through the Murli. The Murli is wonderful. There are many, many points in the Murli today. So go through it and post your points on YouTube or send me on WhatsApp so that I can know what you understood. Om Shanti. Let's thank Baba for some time. My Baba is the ocean of purity. is such a tiny star, and completely independent. In his form of a small star, Baba is this ever-flowing ocean of happiness. Just see Baba, a tiny little star, overflowing as the ocean of happiness. I am Baba's child, made in his image, exactly like him. I am also a small point, a star, shining blissfully, radiating the light of happiness. Just sit with these thoughts for some time.